Hi, my name is Matthew Ferry and I am your life coach. I get a question in from one of our clients that says, how do I get my wife to put out more? Now, he didn't mean put out like that, though I'm sure that would be good too. But it's put out more love, put out more caring, put out more kindness, put out more compassion into the relationship. And this is something, as an inspired action coach, we, the coaches, work with people all the time on getting their relationships into shape. And it's not just your relationship with your partner, your spouse, your significant other. It's your relationship with your mother, your father, your kids, with your aunts and uncles, with the people at work, with your bosses, with your business partners. And it's all the same. It really comes down to this, that you are getting what you're putting out. You're getting what you're putting out. So I advise that people begin to create a structure in their relationship, and this usually happens in the third phase of the Inspired Action Coaching Program. In phase one, we just work on clearing out all the wreckage. You have all these beliefs that are not serving and supporting you. In phase two, once you've cleared out all of the beliefs that aren't serving and supporting you, well, now who do you want to be if you're not going to be all those beliefs that have stopped you in your life? It is in the third phase that we would implement a structure like what we're going to talk about here today, because in the third phase you start to create or construct the life of your dreams. And so I recommend something called the date night questions. And the date night questions, you can ask this actually with your children, with your boss. We've got a guy on Wall Street who is a senior executive at a firm who has a co-head. So they are co-leading this group. And they use this structure that I'm going to talk about today to make sure that they're aligned at all times. But it began really in supporting people and having great relationships. So let's talk about it. Date night questions. What we're going to do is get into deep communication with our partner in a way similar to when we first began our relationship. When we first began our relationship, we were interested in each other. We wanted to know what the other person was up to. We were curious. We were engaging that mystery. And over time with people, the drunk monkey in your head begins to think that it actually knows people. That's a mistake. People are growing, evolving, changing. Their perceptions are changing all the time. And if you don't keep up with them on that, if you don't keep up with who your spouse, your significant other actually is, well, ultimately it's going to create conflict. So we're going to engage the mystery by putting a structure in place. There are questions that you should ask every single week. And when you ask these questions, what Claudine and I do is we actually go out, we have a dinner that is specifically designed for these questions. You can do it any way that you want to do it. So the first question is there anything that you're unhappy about, making me wrong for, mad about, pissed off about? We want to get that out on the table. And of course we're going to get that on the table in a way that I'm actually asking you to tell me. So I'm not going to react to it. I'm not going to defend myself. I just want to know, is there anything over there that is upsetting you so that we can clear it up? And then vice versa. Okay? I ask Claudine and Claudine asks me. The second question that we're going to ask each other is, what have you been trying to tell me that I haven't been letting you say or you haven't had a chance to say? So we're, going in a million miles constantly in different directions all week long. She's off doing her thing right now. I'm here shooting a video with you right now. So we've got all of these things that are happening and we don't always have an opportunity to communicate them. So this gives us a chance to say everything that has been on our mind that we haven't had a chance to say to each other yet. The third question that we ask people or that we ask each other, is the question, are any of your needs not being met? And this is a great opportunity to talk about whatever needs you have that you would like to have the other person meet for you. Very powerful way to come together. Then the next question that we ask is, what do you want to be acknowledged for? Because I'm doing stuff all week long, and she's doing stuff all week long. We have great things, great accomplishments that are happening, and yet we don't have a chance to tell each other. This is an opportunity to acknowledge each other. Then the next question we ask is, what are you happy about right now? because it's so easy to get caught up in the drunk monkey madness. Remember, your mind's job is to keep you alive. So it's going to look for things that aren't right about your partner and then either try to fix it, kill it, or avoid it. This is not an effective strategy for a relationship. So we want to get our mind turned onto what is working, what's right, what's good, what are you happy about. And when we discuss that in our relationship, it brings the energy up. Then we ask the critical question: what are you committed to in our relationship this week? What are you committed to in our relationship this week? Now think about it. How often are you making commitments to each other about the relationship? I imagine never. Which is why most people's relationship gets stagnant and stuck, and it doesn't grow and mature as the two of you grow and mature. And that is in the same thing with your parents, and the same thing with your kids, and the same thing with your business partners. It's the same thing everywhere. We begin to hold people accountable to who they were back then, with no idea of who they are today. And what happens is that communication starts to get off, there starts to be upsets between the two of us, and communication starts to break down. So I request that you take this on and see what happens. I think you'll be blown away by the intimacy, the love, the connection, and the joy that you can create in all of your relationships.